In a stunning victory earlier this week, 33-year-old Democratic Socialist Zohran Mamdani won the Democratic primary in the race to be mayor of New York City, sending shockwaves through the Democratic Party across the country. Mamdani was the top choice of 43.5% of Democratic primary voters in New York's ranked choice system. He defeated former New York Governor Andrew Cuomo, who conceded the race Tuesday night. If Zohran Mamdani wins in the general election in November, he will be the city's youngest mayor in over a century, as well as the first Muslim mayor of New York. He won with an energetic campaign that brought in tens of thousands of volunteers and a laser focus on the issue of affordability.
New York just got rocked. And no, not by Trump, but by a 33-year-old Democratic Socialist who just sent the establishment reeling. A name barely on the radar months ago, just won the Democratic primary to become NYC's next mayor. He crushed former Governor Andrew Cuomo, who had $25 million in super PAC money, name recognition, and the backing of political giants. Mamdani? He had people. Former Secretary of Labor, Inequality scholar, and lifelong teacher, says this isn't just an upset. It's a wake-up call. The people are done being polite. The economy is rigged, and not just in theory. Wages for the bottom 60 to 80%? Flat for 45 years. Meanwhile, the rich throw Venice weddings and sip power like champagne. Reich confesses, but this is one thing I agree with Trump on. The economy is rigged. But it's rigged against working people. Trump used cultural populism to sell it. Mamdani is offering economic populism in its truest form. Affordable housing. Free child care. Fast, free buses. A stable life for workers. It's not radical. It's common sense in the richest country on earth. Reich echoes, we can pay for it by taxing the ultra-wealthy. But Democrats must stop being afraid to sound bold.
We have won because New Yorkers have stood up for a city they can afford. A city where they can do more than just struggle. One where those who toil in the night can enjoy the fruits of their labor in the day. Where hard work is repaid with a stable life. Where 8 hours on the factory floor or behind the wheel of a cab is enough to pay the mortgage. It is enough to keep the lights on. It is enough to send your kid to school. Where rent-stabilized apartments are actually stabilized. Where buses are fast and free. Where childcare doesn't cost more than CUNY. And where public safety keeps us truly safe.
How did this earthquake, this massive upset happen? And what does it say about the Democratic Party and Democratic voters in this moment that the campaign of a Democratic Socialist focused on affordability beat out such formidable establishment opponent? We're joined now by someone who's made teaching about rising inequality and its impacts on society his life work. Robert Reich has held many positions over his career: Secretary of Labor under President Bill Clinton, best-selling author, prolific creator of viral videos online, and co-founder of Inequality Media. But above all, he considers himself a teacher. He's been a professor for over 40 years. In fact, he just taught his last class, at least for now. Yes, there's a new film out about Robert Reich, which is called just that, The Last Class. And it looks at this last semester teaching at UC Berkeley, the course Wealth and Poverty, Wealth and Inequality. Here's a clip from the
Back in '94, Reich warned this would happen. That rising inequality and a dying middle class would make room for a strongman. Fast forward, Trump happened. Not because he delivered, but because people were desperate. Zohran didn't beat Cuomo because he had money. He beat him with people. Reich says, this is the moment for Democrats to grow a backbone, dump Wall Street money, fight for working people, and stop tinkering at the edges while billionaires cash out. So what now? The old playbook is burning. New Yorkers just chose affordable futures over billionaire nostalgia. Reich says it best. Goodbye, corporate Democrats. The future belongs to those who dare to fight.